Hi guys, what is up? This is me, Landon, and today I'm going to go over the top 10 cards from the newest set, Guardians Rising. This set is, I believe, we have one more week of pre-releases right now, but it's going to come out in a few weeks, and it's one of the best sets that we've had in a really long time. This set has some really great cards, so if your favorite card's is not on here, it's probably because it's either, well, not good enough, or there's just a lot of good cards in this set. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. The honorable mention that I have is Rayquaza. Rayquaza, I believe, came out in a battle deck, and it's a colorless type, 120 HP basic, and it's pretty good. For a DCE, it has an attack called Turbo Storm. It does 30 damage, and you attach 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. This is really powerful for like certain types that don't really have much energy acceleration, like, I don't know, grass. Just think of a type that doesn't really have much energy acceleration, maybe metal. But this is a really good card. I think it will be even. I think it's not as good right now, but I think pretty soon it will be a really good card if it just gets the right partner. Because attaching 2 basic energy from your discard pile is really good. Like, really good. Baby Eviltal for 1 dark does 30, and you attach a dark energy to one of your bench, and that's seen a lot of play in, like, Eviltal and Turbo Dark. So I really think if this thing can just get the right partner, it will be a really good card. At number 10, I put Tapu Koko GX. I'm not the biggest fan of this card, but I still think it's a really good card. It's a lightning typed 170 basic GX. Its ability Arrow Trail. Once during your turn, when you put this card from your hand onto your bench, you can move any number of lightning energy attached to your Pokemon to this Pokemon. If you move any energy, you switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon. So it's kind of like Dragonite EX's old Russian ability. And it's a pretty good ability. Like, let's say you have one lightning on a certain Pokemon, one lightning on another one, and another on another. You can just bench down your Tapu Koko, move all your lightning, and put it in your active, so it's ready to attack. Its attacks, in my opinion, aren't the best. Skyclaw for 2 lightning at colorless does 130 damage, which is alright damage. It can knock out a few things, like big basics, but for the most part, it won't be knocking out that much stuff. And then I think its GX attack is kind of underwhelming. It does 50 damage times the number of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. Now, this attack could be pretty good against, I don't know, a Mega Gardevoir Primal Clash deck or a Turbo Dark deck. But if your opponent only has like 3 energy, you're only doing 150 damage, and that's your GX attack. Normally, you're going to be pairing this with something that has like Tapu Lele or something, another GX. I just don't think it's that good to be using your GX attack on. But all the Tapus have no weakness or resistance, which I think is an amazing thing. Because if this thing was weak to fighting, it would kind of hurt. I mean, it wouldn't hurt that much, but it wouldn't be as favorable as it would get one-shot by the kind of popular Lycanroc deck. And there's a new Lycanroc in this set that it's not on this list, but for like a fighting at a DCE, it does 110. And if this was weak to fighting, then it would definitely be a little worse. So at number 9, I had to put Trevenant. Trevenant is a stage 1 grass that evolves from Phantom, 120 HP, so it gets the luxury of Forest of Giant Plants. For a DCE, its attack called Poltergeist does 30 damage, and your opponent reveals their hand. Or it does 30 damage times the number of trainer cards that are in your opponent's hand after they reveal their hand. This is really strong with Vileplume, and I'm not sure right now about how I feel about this card. It's like your opponent needs to have 6 trainer cards in their hand. And I know Vileplume's super strong, but I still don't think it's like as good as a few cards up on the top, and that's why I had to put it at number 9. It's weak to fire, and it has a 2 retreat cost. Weakness to fire is kind of big. If it was weak to dark, then I think it would be a lot worse. But since it's weak to fire, it gets knocked out by Volcanion by Baby Volcanion with 2 steam ups. But against Volcanion EX, it's only it wouldn't have mattered because Volcanion EX is just beast. But, yeah. In number 8, I put Sylveon GX. This card is a really strong deck, or is a really strong card. It's a fairy, stage 1, evolves from Eevee, 200 HP. Now remember that we have Energy Evolution Eevee, which when you attach a basic energy to one of your Eevees, you search your deck for an evolution that's the same type of the energy and just get to straight evolve it, which is really strong with this card. Its first attack, Magical Ribbon for 1 fairy energy, which is exactly how many you need to Eevee evolve. You gotta search your deck for 3 cards and put them in your hand and shuffle your deck afterwards. I really think that this is the strong attack, and this is what makes this card good. Because turn 1, let's say you're going second, you start Eevee, you attach, you go into Sylveon, and you can just use Magical Ribbon, which you just search your deck for 3 cards, and that's like amazing. 3 cards and put them in your hand, that's really, really good. And even if your opponent ends you, you're still getting a fresh hand of 6. So worst case scenario, you get a fresh hand of 6, and best case scenario, you search your deck for 3 cards. That's pretty good. And then its other attacks are kind of mediocre. Fairy Wind for a fairy and a DCE does 110, which is alright because it evolves from Eevee. So what you can do is if you run the other evolutions from Ancient Origins, you can change your type into a lightning, a water, and a fire, and it lets you cover a lot more matchups. So if you're playing like a Volcanion EX deck, then you have Vaporeon. If you're playing Yveltal, you have Jolteon, and if you're playing Decidueye or something like that, you have or a grass deck, you have Flareon. And then its GX attack for a fairy and a DCE, Prior GX, you pick up 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Your opponent returns those Pokemon and all cards attached to them into his or her hand. You can't use more than one GX attack a game. I'm sorry, I was just reading off the page. But picking up 2 of your opponent's bench Pokemon is pretty good. The problem that I have with it is that it goes back into their hand. I think if it shuffled back in their deck, that this card would be a lot better. But since it goes back into their hand, they can just simply replay it. Now this is going to be really strong comboed with like an N or a red card, because after that turn, after the turn that you use that, they only have 1 turn to set that stuff down. And if you return something that has like 2 or 3 energy, or like 3 or 4 energy, or is it stage 1 or stage 2, they won't be able to evolve it again, and they have to try and refind it. But a lot of the time, you kind of have to think how many times does your opponent have 3 ready attackers. And I think this is really good against cards like Primal Groudon, or Mega Gardevoir, or any Mega decks for that type. Because I've been playing Mega decks, and when you just be able to pick up one of their Megas, they have to re-evolve that. They have to reattach Spirit Links. They have to reattach their energy. Most Megas take a lot of energy. This is really good against those Megas and Primal decks, and this card is really good comboed, that it's a fairy type and it's weak to metal, which is a really good weakness to have right now. And it gets access to fairy drop. And I think that this is just amazing because you have 200 HP. You're not going to get knocked out by a lot of things. And you can combo that with Assault Vest too, so you're even more bulky. And its Magical Ribbon basically makes it so you can search for Crushing Hammers, Enhanced Hammers, Fairy Drops. And yeah, so I think that this card is really good. At number 7, I have Alolan Ninetails GX. This card is really good, but I had to put it at number 7 because like the next cards are like just a bunch of item cards, and they're just really good. So Alolan Ninetails GX it's a water type, 210 HP, stage 1, evolves from Alolan Vulpix. Alolan Vulpix actually has an attack that takes no energy called Beckon, and you search your deck for 2 Pokemon and just put them in your hand. And I think that that's a really good attack turn on your first turn of the game. If you can use it, you just search your deck for 2 Pokemon. It's really strong, and you go them into your hand. So if you're in Shaman, you can just search for a Shaman or a Tapu Lele, and you can get out of Dead Drawing or something. But Alolan Ninetales, For a DCE, its first attack, Ice Blade, you do 50 to 1 year for your opponent's Pokemon. This is kind of mediocre. It doesn't hit like the 60 HPs like the Rowlets and the Froakies, but it can knock out stuff like, I don't know, 50 HP basics that are evolve. I don't know. I don't think that's that good of an attack, but for a DCE, it's alright. And then its second attack is pretty good. It's Blizzard Edge for 2 water and a colorless. You do 160, and then you discard 2 energy attached to this Pokemon. With Choice Band, you're doing 190 to EXs and GXs, and Blizzard Edge is going to knock out most things that aren't EXs or GXs. So it's a pretty good attack, and with the Aqua Patch that I'm going to talk about later, it's really good because you can go Blizzard Edge, Aqua Patch, Blizzard Edge again. But yeah. And then its GX attack is actually really strong. Some of you know Mewtwo EX, people run Shrine Memories just to be able to use damage change. And for Alolan Ninetails to have it as its GX attack for just a DCE is really strong. And it's even better than damage change because you just move all your damage counters onto them. You don't have to take their damage counters. And it's also weak to Metal, which is a good type to be weak to because not much stuff is Metal except for, yeah, not much stuff is not many good cards are Metal right now. So it's a really good card. I had to put it this low because the next items are just so strong. Coming in at number 6, I put Rescue Stretcher. You could probably put this down at number 7 or number 8, but I just think that this card's really strong. It's an item card. You choose one. You can either put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand, or you can shuffle 3 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. This is really strong. Let's say you Ultra Ball to Shaman or a Tapu Lele. Rescue Stretcher is just like another like draw card if you happen to Ultra Ball one, and it's just gonna make Ultra Ball a stronger card. It's gonna make Tapu Lele Shaman strong, and it's also really good if you discarded like an evolution line or an evolution line and one other Pokemon. You can just shuffle them back into your deck, and it acts as a Super Rod as well. It won't totally replace Super Rod unless you're not really gonna run out of your basic energy. But it's a really good card, and I think it's gonna see like a one of in almost every deck. Coming in at number 5, we have Aqua Patch. I had to put this lower than I wanted to, but this card is just sheerly amazing. It's an item. You attach a basic water energy from your discard pile to one of your bench water Pokemon. As some of you know that played back in the day, Dark Patch was so amazing, and it's still even really good and expanded right now. But Aqua Patch is going to be replacing that for water Pokemon. And what Aqua Patch makes a lot better is Alolan Ninetails and Lapras, and honestly any water Pokemon. Aqua Patch is just really good. It also, again, makes Ultra Ball a stronger card, making you want to discard your water energy. And it's going to make water a lot stronger, which will fizzle out the fire decks, which will bring back in the Decidueye decks, and it's like a triangle. But then everyone just realizes, oh, I can play Tapu Lele Garbodor. Yay, I win. But yeah, I'm going on rant. So, yeah. At number 4, I put Field Blower. This card is tool removal now. Is our new tool removal. It's an item. You choose up to 2 in any combination of Pokemon tool cards and stadium cards in your hand or in play and discard them. So you can discard your opponent's parallel, play another play your parallel. You can discard their tools off of their Garbodors, and then you can discard their Fury Belts. It's a really, really strong card. Yeah. Not much to say about it, but tools are so strong. Fighting Fury Belt has kind of just changed our metagame that we're going back into 2-shotting. But now with Field Blower, we can kind of go back into 1-shotting now that we can keep Fighting Fury Belt in check. So yeah. At number 3, we have Garbodor. Garbodor is a Stage 1 Psychic type with 120 HP. And this card is just ludicrous. PDCG Radio, a really good channel, made a video about this. I would go check them out. But for 1 Psychic Energy, Trashalanche, this attack does 20 damage times the number of item cards in your opponent's discard pile. This just, like, adds an element of control to the game. Like, that's really strong. Item cards have basically been a really big part in almost all decks. Almost every deck is running 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 VS Seeker, and whatever other trainer cards that it wants to run. Also, their tools and Field Blower can let you put them in your discard pile, their discard pile. And Trashalanche is just such a strong attack. It's so versatile. It's a stage 1, so you can splash it into a lot of decks. The best use of it, in my opinion, right now is Tapu Lele or Vespiquen. I think that's really strong. Also, Espeon is a good partner with it. It's weak to Psychic, 3 retreat cost. Pretty standard for a Garbodor. It also has second attack for a Psychic and a DCE that does 70 flip for discarding energy attached to their active, which can come in handy actually. They don't discard their items, but they're just playing into you. So yeah, this card's really good. At number 2, I put Choice Band. You could probably flip 1 and 2 around, but I think that Choice Band is just really, really good. But I just think that the first card is just a little better. Choice Band is a tool card that you attach to any Pokemon. And their attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active EX and GX. Now, this is so strong. This is like I said before, where Field Blower kind of eliminates Fighting Fury Belt, and we're going to go back into our one-hit KO format. This helps that a lot, because Choice Band basically makes it so it's a lot easier to knock out stuff. And if we're going to run this over Fury Belt, then it's going to be a lot easier to knock out stuff. That's like eliminating 70 HP if you're adding a Choice Band instead of a Fury Belt in like a mirror match where both players are playing Choice Band over Fury Belt. And this just makes your numbers so much better for like every deck, honestly. This card is just so strong. But we just had one more card that is better than that. So, yeah. Coming at number 1, I had to put Tapu Lele GX. As many of you know, this is like a $40 card right now, just the regular art. It's a Psychic GX, 170 HP. Has an ability called Wonder Tag. When you place Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you can search your deck for a supporter card and put it in your hand. This is an amazing ability, as it has shown. It was on a Jirachi EX that was super like, if it didn't have that ability, it would be super unplayable. It was like 90 HP, and like 3 energy for 60, and both actives were asleep. And this card is like that, but like a Mewtwo, because for a DCE, it does 20 times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. This is like amazing. Just Tapu Lele can be its like own deck, because you just have Wonder Tag and you have Energy Drive. Its GX attack isn't the best. Tapu Cure GX, heal all damage from 2 of your bench Pokemon. I mean, it's alright if you have like 2 damaged Leles and you can just heal them off, but you're not really going to focus on the GX attack. You're going to really focus on the ability Wonder Tag and the attack. Yeah, it's just amazing. This will probably also increase the play of Lily Index, because an Ultra Ball can go into a Tapu Lele and you can go into a Lily. Lily hasn't been that good right now because we don't really have a way to draw in to get it on turn 1. But with Tapu Lele, an Ultra Ball or a Trainer's Mail that goes into an Ultra Ball can simply turn into a Tapu Lele and turn into a Lily. And this card is just amazing. It makes an Ultra Ball miles better when Shaman rotates. And yeah, this card is just amazing. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to try and get more uploads, but I'm going to have a lot of testing to do with Virginia coming up, and I think in a couple weeks. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time.